Jeannette Rankin was the first woman in the United States to hold a high governmental office, and obviously was not the last woman to have a crucial part in governing this country. After observing the current power and effect of Hillary Clinton on the population of America, it is clear that Rankin has left a legacy for women in government to follow for many years to come. Rankin's campaign in the early 1900s was based upon the reasoning that the corruption and dysfunction of this government was a result of the lack of feminine participation. She is a well-known advocate of women's suffrage and led strongly as a lobbyist in the National American Women's Suffrage Association. Jeannette Rankin believed that women should have a higher and greater role in the United States government. She fought for women's rights to vote in the state of Washington and Montana, partially causing the idea of full country women's suffrage that is present today. The United States government made a strong, fair decision in allowing women's suffrage in 1920, keeping sexist and unfair ideas partially gone for the future. Without the votes of women today, laws would be self-serving for men, leaving the opinions of women unheard. Rankin was an ardent pacifist, being one of 49 members of the House of Representatives to vote against World War I. During World War I, the activity of women and their rights in the war effort were considered by Congress because of Rankin's actions. The idea of pacifism and women's freedoms were greatly portrayed through Jeannette Rankin's ideals in other countries, such as Switzerland. Jeannette Rankin also fought for the propositions of birth control, equal pay, and child welfare. Birth control was a highly debatable topic in the 1900s, causing many people to be indecisive and believe that it was a form of murder. Jeannette Rankin educated many women and informed them on the ideal and unharmful methods of birth control. Equal pay was one of the greater strong suits in Rankin's campaign, leading her to become a strong candidate for Congress in Montana. Rankin's reasoning of equal pay not only persuaded the U.S. government to pass the Equal Pay Act of 1963, but also gave rights to women and low-class citizens. Equal pay was one of the stronger suits in Rankin's campaign, leading her to become a strong candidate for Congress in Montana. Rankin's reasoning of equal pay not only persuaded the U.S. government to pass the Equal Pay Act of 1963, but also gave rights to women and lower-class citizens working just as hard as the men that were getting paid the most. This led to the comparable work method that provided for equal pay and different jobs in the same workplace. Comparable work had later been proven to be problematic, and after much discussion, it was eventually changed to the less controversial equal work, which meant jobs requiring equal skill, effort, and responsibility, and which are performed under similar working conditions. Jeannette Rankin also provided and believed in allowing American women who married foreign nationals to retain their citizenship. A bill was passed allowing these women to do so. This bill was later named the Cable Act, and it was passed by Congress in 1922. The Cable Act efficiently overturned a 1907 law that had stripped such women of their American citizenship. The Cable Act had many benefits to American women at this time. The women were no longer essentially legally dependent on their husbands, and they now had complete self-citizenship. The law was passed only after overcoming stiff opposition because of the long-standing legal positions of women losing their citizenship to foreign men. In many political movements today, Rankin's effect on women and her rights gained by perseverance is clear and shows throughout Congress and the government. Also, the effect of women's suffrage has a great impact on American society, and it makes for feminism to be equal with men, and it is very good for our country. Jeannette Rankin believed that America could be a better place by allowing women's suffrage, persuading pacifism, and informing women about birth control and the rights they should have. Rankin's fight for these subjects led to women given the right to vote, the Cable Act being passed, birth control becoming common, and many women playing many governmental roles in America.